Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm coming at you today with a absolute classic Arab/Iraqi dish. It's called bamia. Many of you will be familiar with it, but for those of you who aren't, bamia just means okra, which is this little green vegetable here that you may or may not have seen before. And it's an okra stew, basically. It's super simple, super minimal ingredients, but very, very tasty, and a classic in Iraq especially. Yeah. We just get them frozen. You can get them fresh at a lot of Arab and Asian grocery shops, but they tend to be quite big, so we just get the frozen ones, so they're a little bit smaller. There's a bunch of brands, so it doesn't really matter with the brand, to be honest, but however, this one is a good one because the okra are really nice and small compared to the ones that we got, which are a little bit bigger, which is fine, but the small ones are a little bit nicer to eat. Okay, so the ingredients for the market bamia, or just bamia, are, like I said, tomatoes or a can of tomatoes, a little bit of tomato paste. This, obviously we've got this one in a jar, but you know, you could use the tube or a can. We have some garlic cloves here. We've got about 7, because that was how many was left in the bulb, but you could use, I'd say, between 8 and 10 garlic cloves, to be honest. Of course, a little bit of olive oil and some salt to taste. So it's super minimal, simple ingredients. Let's get into it. Like I said, we also use cans, sometimes 2, but last time we were in Iraq, my aunt used fresh everything basically, and we were inspired to do the same. So we started using fresh tomatoes too. Okay, so that's sorted. Next, I'm just gonna peel my garlic cloves. I'm gonna be careful to not crush them because they need to stay whole for this. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so I'm just peeling my garlic cloves. Took a little break there because my mum stopped to tell me I was doing it wrong. Okay, so I'm actually gonna add a couple more garlic cloves, because apparently 7 isn't enough. I know this seems like absolutely loads of garlic, but this is going to cook down and really soften and become a really mild flavour, not like a strong garlic flavour, and it becomes really, really tasty. So just in case you were concerned about that. So the pan has been heating up for a little bit. I'm just going to add in some olive oil, probably just about maybe 2 tablespoons. I was looking to my mum for the nod of approval. So I'm just going to add the garlic to the pan with the oil. Okay, so it's just been about literally just a minute, and I'm going to add the bamia with the garlic. Right, okay, let's just calm down. So when you add the bamia in, you don't want to move it about with your spoon too much, because it can kind of make it disintegrate and get kind of slimy, and obviously we don't want that. We want to keep it nice and whole. So I'm literally just gonna swivel it about a little bit. Okay. So I just covered it and left it for literally just a minute. I'm gonna add in some hot water that I've just boiled. So I just added in about a 1/4 cup of hot water to the garlic and the bamia, and obviously just covered it, and I'm just gonna let that sit, you know, still on high heat for just a few minutes. I'll let you know when we're back. Okay, so it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. I've taken the lid off, and I'm just gonna add just a tablespoon of tomato paste, and I'm just gonna stir that around just a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to be stirring too much. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in my tomatoes now. Ooh. Okay, and again, I'm just kind of gently folding that, mixing that together. I'm just adding in some salt. As I've said before, salt to taste. That was probably about 2 teaspoons or so. I've just covered it, but not all the way. I've left it, you know, open. I've left it uncovered, that's the word, just a tiny bit to let a little bit of the steam out, and we're just going to leave that so it can boil for just a few minutes before we let it simmer, right? Cool. Okay, so I've just left this for about 5 minutes, just still on high heat with the lid loosely on, and I'm just going to take it off the heat just for a wee second so that I can quickly taste it for seasoning. And I'm also going to add a little bit of water. At this point it's kind of up to you, you know, you judge the kind of thickness of it. This one is just a little bit thick, so I'm going to add, like I said, a wee splash of water. It's very nice. I'm just going to add a tiny bit more salt at this point. Just about half a teaspoon. You know, how do you measure salt really? So I've just put the heat down to 1 or the low setting that you have, and I'm just going to fully cover it. Stick it back on the heat. And then I'm probably going to leave this for around 20 minutes or so to simmer so that the bamia can get really nice and tender. And in the meantime, I'm just going to cook up some rice to serve with the bamia. You wouldn't have this on its own. You would normally have it with rice, sometimes bread, but normally rice. So it's been about 20 minutes and I'm just going to check on my bamia, which I've had simmering for 20 minutes on. It's been about 20 minutes. I've just taken the lid off and I'm just checking on the bamia. It looks lovely. Do you want to come have a wee look? Apologies as the lighting currently isn't that great. The garlic, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Very tasty. The garlic, of course you can taste the garlic, there's lots of garlic in it, but like I said, it's not a very harsh garlicky taste. It's cooked down really, really nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to serve up and I will show you when I have. Cool. I'm so excited about this one, to be honest, because like I said, it's an absolute classic. The thing that I love about this recipe and hopefully some of the other recipes that I'm going to show you is the kind of simplicity of it. Like, you know, as you saw, it's so few simple ingredients. And don't get me wrong, I love, you know, Indian and cuisines that use a lot of spices and flavourings, but there's something special about just kind of stripping it back and kind of celebrating the vegetables themselves and the kind of really simple flavours. So yeah, I think that's really nice. So as if I haven't had this about a million times in my life, I'm going to do a little taste. I mean, of course, like I said, I've had this dish so many times in my life. I love it. And I'm just serving it with some simple salata or salad. And I'm gonna go enjoy this and let my poor wee mum enjoy it too. So thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you try it and that you love it. See you next time.